Origin belongs to New South Wales for game one.
Yes, for those that missed the game because it was too late, New South Wales won game one in Brisbane.
Oh, yeah, baby.
The score didn't really reflect the game.
No, it didn't.
Nathan Cleary missed both kickers missed every goal.
They
Conversion.
They missed every conversion. So every try that we scored or Queensland scored, they didn't convert that, but they kicked a penalty goal each.
I know that. Well, New South Wales just sort of strangled them, didn't they? Cleary and Moses kicked them to death. They won the field position, but Queensland they didn't go away.
Can I say something?
Away.
Did it surprise you?
No,
because we knew exactly what was going to happen. New South Wales told you what the game plan, they're going to go through the middle, and Supercoach couldn't stop it.
Yeah, well, you know what? There's a part of me, though. We want New South Wales to win. We do.
I want them to win 3-0. I can't wait.
I know,
me too.
There is also, I do want them to win the series, but you also want it to make it a contest.
I don't. There's not one part of me that wants to see Queensland come close.
Okay, well, I do.
This is sensational.
I like it. I like that they win the series, and but a 3-0 doesn't really help the game. I want Queensland to be there.
Who cares about the game?
I agree.
Where was their Queensland spirit last night?
They're going to be back. Queensland will be back, mate. Don't worry about Queensland. They'll be back. And let me make this clear. I go for New South Wales, but they will be back. You know what Queenslanders are like? You can't kill them. They're like that guy on the Terminator. He just keeps turning up.
It's a false narrative behind it. That's their Queensland spirit. Where was it last night?
They just paid Haas. They couldn't handle them.
They've been beaten Suncorp back to back.
Yeah,
that hasn't been done since '97.
Yeah, you know what? To be honest with you guys, it didn't feel like an Origin watching.
It's because the build-up wasn't there.
No,
and New South Wales demolished them.
They did. Payne Haas, he was just looking like a He-Man out there.
He made Queensland feel the pain.
He did. Yeah, it's a good play on words. There's a couple of things though. Like the game ended up starting. The kickoff was 8:08 p.m. on the dot.
It was a late one.
Right, it was a late one for people who get up early, which is most of Sydney, to go to work and kids. And it finished at 10:01. So doing the maths there's something happened there with the halftime and the stoppages.
I think the halftime's longer for the Origin period.
And there were a few stoppages. There was some Harry Grant was bleeding. There was a couple of stoppages in play.
Tino, Big Shiner.
But it was it was all there. I don't know. I just feel like I can't be coming in here on 4 hours sleep.
You know
Poor bugger's driving to work now. I've had 4 or 5 hours sleep, somewhere on the M5 or M8. It has to be a little bit early.
Yeah, 7:30 is a happy medium.
I reckon I've had about 2 hours sleep, but you know why? Because I was so excited because we got Reedy on the show a little bit later on, and he's a Queenslander.
Is he?
Queenslander.
I'm going to tear him apart.
He does look like a Queenslander, doesn't he, Peabody?
So with his two heads.
Woodsy, New South Wales were fantastic last
Oh,
night.
it was bloody beautiful. And there was a couple of droughts that they broke, actually. It's the first time in New South Wales they've won back-to-back at Suncorp since 1997.
That's not easy.
That is not easy. It was hard enough to win up their Game 3 last year, the decider, and to win Game 1. And it's also the first time New South Wales has won Game 1 since 2021.
Is it?
Yes. It's crazy, isn't it?
That's crazy.
Because we lost it last year at home in New South Wales when Swalihi got the sent-off with the tackle on Reece Walsh. But it's a great sign for New South Wales. And I thought the scoreline didn't reflect how dominant New South Wales were. They did miss 4 conversions, which is 8 points. But from the opening set of the game, I think it's Mitch Barnett has the first carry, and then you see what Zach Lomax does. He just beelines straight for Harry Grant. A little bit of late feet, which isolates him one-on-one, and he just bumps straight through, and that will sort of set the tone for the whole night. New South Wales made 50 metres in that first opening set, which in Origin, you're always sitting at home. The build-up's unbelievable. You get to watch the coverage. They do the anthems, and then you're waiting for that first kickoff. And I thought for a side like Queensland that we knew they needed to have a fast start, you said they were looking to ambush us.
Yeah, where was the ambush?
I still think they're waiting for it.
Yeah.
Well, so are we, because that was a poor start from Queensland.
They didn't tell each other about the ambush.
They didn't tell it. And you know what my other favourite part was? They had Spencer Leniu on a target. Yeah. On the back page of the Courier Mail, the paper up there.
Public enemy
number one. He gets on the field. His first involvement would have been a kickoff run. What do? They kicked off to the left side, which is the right side of the New South Wales. They go to the opposite side.
Yeah.
For me, that was where they could have made another statement, but they didn't.
No. They were, Laurie, the coaching, and I mean, Nathan Cleary and Mitch Moses have got a role to play here. Their strategy, they targeted the little men. So Harry Grant is the best hooker in the game.
Yep.
They targeted him. Reuben Cotter, they ran at him, tough as nails, but they ran at him. And they took the gas out of I mean, when Harry Grant he was so tired in attack.
It was
he
awful.
was bleeding. He was hot. They just sent traffic at him, and they couldn't get out of their own end. One other thing I wanted to note that I picked up in the broadcast and on the text, Tino.
Yep.
Right, he missed the series last year, and he's still finding his feet with the ACL. He's been out. He was out of the game for nearly 12 months.
Yep.
With the tears in his eyes in the anthem.
Oh,
I've never seen that before.
He was pumped to be back, Big
I
Tino.
love it.
And he's one of our favourite players in the game to watch. But the hype around Tino at the moment, it's hard. You don't want to disrespect the player, but he's been out for 12 months. He missed the start. So he played around 2 or 3 last year. You're coming back off an ACL, it's very hard to impact straight away, have a really big impact. So I think they relied heavily on that. They lose Tom Gilbert. They've still got Flegler injured for another season. Their forwards can't match what we do, and then our outside backs are absolutely phenomenal. Like, people talk about Nathan Cleary as a little bit, I thought he was outstanding last night. The combination of him and Mitchell, it's only going to grow.
Puppet master, mate.
Mitchell just let Cleary do everything. You see him run. He takes the line on. There's a couple of opportunities. He probably, a couple of offloads that were late that we dropped off the back of, but it's him taking the line on. Kicking game didn't get to land right on the spot, but it was the chase around it that put a lot of pressure on the Queenslanders.
Yeah.
I don't see Queensland coming close to the next game. I just can't see where they're going to improve. We would have played about a 6 out of 10 game. We have so much more improvement in us. I don't think Queensland have the players to make. Well, I think they need to make change. They need to get blokes like Kafusi in there, Cape, or blokes that have been there, done it, blokes that can make a statement defensively. And that's the big headache that Billy Slater's going to have.
Yeah, this is personal with you and Slater. I love it.
No, it's not. It's just I love listening to people say Billy Slater. He watches every game. We spoke about it leading into what New South Wales was going to do, and they couldn't stop it. Has he outthought himself?
He's got ahead. Well, they forgot the ambush. So maybe he has.
So it's a huge talking point. We've got Brent Read later on the show, who is a Queenslander.
Oh, can't wait.
I can't wait to jump straight into him.
Yeah. Let's bash him.
Oh, whoa. Yeah, he's in the know for all NRL matters. We love it when he joins us in person too. It is a great Brent Read.
How you going?
Reedy, mate. We are outstanding. The Blues.
I've got my Maroon on.
Mate, you know what? I thought that was for Manly, not for the Maroons.
No, for Queensland, always Queensland, mate.
Well,
Lead Maroon.
They stick solid, Queenslanders. They do.
Yeah.
They're dejected, but they'll be back. Everyone,
You're on side, Bowie. I like
I'm
it.
not. Well, my wife's
We want to
Queenslander.
adopt you.
They will be back. You can't rule Queensland.
He's
out,
just
mate.
mates with Billy Slater, and he wants to keep the
I
peace.
like it.
But
Yeah,
talk
he's
about
good.
sticking solid.
Yes.
What does Billy Slater do in this next game, going into game 2? Because there's a lot of question marks over what happened last night, but he also had this to say in the press conference leading to it.
I definitely don't think it's a personnel thing. I know what this team's capable of. You can probably see I'm disappointed because they haven't played their best footy, and I feel responsible to try and help them get there. So, yeah, it's definitely not a personnel thing. To be honest, they've had a great attitude as well. But to the discipline side of the game, the attitude wasn't good enough.
So you said it's not a personnel thing
Yeah.
twice. So from that, do you say he's not going to make changes now?
Well, I'd be stunned if he doesn't make changes. I mean, given the way they were beaten.
But he's basically come
with
out and
you
said it's
guys.
not a personnel
but it's
thing.
Straight after the game, Woodsy, and he's got the captain sitting beside him, and you've got to back your players in that instance. But given the way they were beaten, I thought I listened to you guys earlier. I thought they were dominated as well. I thought the scoreline flattered Queensland. So I think you've got to make changes. I think there's some obvious ones. A bloke like Corey Horsburgh could come in. I thought they lacked a bit of aggression up front. I mean, Payne Haas trampled them, right?
Their bench lacked punch.
Yeah.
They lacked punch off the bench. They did. Lindsay Collins is a wonderful player, Australian player.
He's also had one game back too.
Liero, they got bullied, mate. They
Yeah.
got bullied. They did, and they got to change that.
So, I mean, Kurt Mann's another guy who was around
I
the
couldn't
fringe
believe
of
he
the
didn't make it
squad.
at the start.
Maybe Max Plass back by then.
I've got one for
potentially.
you.
What do you got?
If you fit Kurt Mann in,
Yep.
do you push the 14 and Tommy Dearden into halfback? And then what happens to Cherry-Evans? Because Joey Johns has come out. He's been vocal. He
saw
said,
Joey,
mate,
yeah.
it is time. The mother time catches up with you.
Woods, if I'm Billy,
Mother time and father time.
Yeah.
if I'm Billy, I'm saying to Daly Cherry-Evans, sort your future out.
Yeah.
Go back to clubland
That's what it is.
and resolve your future.
Yep.
And I won't consider you until you do it, because it's a distraction. We've seen Daly all year. His form has suffered while all the speculation's been going on about his future. So he's got 3 weeks now. Sit down with the Roosters, sign the contract, announce it, end the rubbish, and
Why is it
then
taking
I'll
us- why is
consider
it
you
taking
for
so
Origin.
long?
What's happened there?
Well,
But everyone knows it's a done
we
deal,
know he's
right?
going
Don't we
there.
all know? Everyone's
know.
like, he's going to the Roosters. What is the issue?
Well, and it's just this constant talk about what he's doing and why haven't you done it? Why haven't you announced your future? And I think it can't help but be a distraction. You've seen his form. His form has suffered ever since this happened. And he wasn't good the other night. But he wasn't the only one who wasn't good the other night, right?
No.
I mean, Cam Munster, I think, missed 9 tackles.
But I think the one we got to talk about is Harry Grant.
Well, Harry's one game back from a long
Slater's picked him
time out
to
with
do
injury.
He said they wear the Queensland jersey, they're going to show us and do it with pride.
Well, he's rarely let us down, would you?
But see, the thing is, you've always had Ben Hunt there.
Yeah,
Harry
maybe
hasn't started.
is Ben Hunt. He's another guy. Maybe Ben Hunt's back from injury in time for Origin 2. I'm not sure on his injury status, but they've got to make changes. I think Corey Horsburgh's the main one for me. You bring him straight in.
You need an aggressive
on the bench.
body.
Well, he's an aggressive guy, right?
Yep.
So, and I think some of those other guys, like if you keep Collins, Harry Grant, they'll be better for playing some more football.
Can I ask, Selwyn Cobbo, you need some big bodies out of the back end of the field because it looked like you've got New South Wales handle your back five really well.
Yeah, but the only issue there is Woodsy. I thought Rob Toyer had a really good game actually, and obviously with when Murray Tuilagi was ruled out, they shuffled things, pushed Val to the wing. Val's the other guy's probably under a bit of pressure. I didn't think Val had a great night, and his form in clubland's been a bit iffy this year. So he's the other guy I reckon's under a bit of pressure. Maybe I'm not sure. I can't remember Tuilagi's injury status, but maybe they look at Tuilagi or
He's
Cobbo.
out this weekend still, but wasn't there a bit of a fallout with Cobbo and?
No, you're going to upset Gordy if you go on about that.
I don't care.
Is Gordy upset? What's Gordy upset
Gordy's
about
upset about all the talk about the coaching staff for off Cobbo and yeah.
Well, that's what happens when you lose. Things happen. Stories get leaked out.
So no, well that story wasn't right apparently. So that's more a form thing with Selwyn Cobbo. If you look at Cobbo, I think he's moved to the wing this week, right? He had a couple of games at fullback, and they've now moved into the wing because his form wasn't great at fullback. So. There'll be changes. There's got to be changes. Maybe they look at a young guy like Josiah Pahulu, the Gold Coast kid who's just signed with Melbourne. You know, if you want a big body, he is a big body.
Yeah.
So it would be a big call to bring him in.
Want him.
The Titans wanted him. They wanted him. They dudded him. He just left them. He didn't want them.